Hey everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. If you're looking to sound more professional, intelligent, and even a little funny at work, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into 15 essential English idioms you can use in the workplace. Let's get started.
Let's start at the very moment that you get your job or even just before it, because there are a couple of really fantastic idioms that you can use to talk about this moment. The first is to get your foot in the door. This means to enter an organization or an industry for the first time. It's often used when you start in a less desirable position, but there's an opportunity to move up. Starting as an intern was my way to get my foot in the door at that company. She got her foot in the door by volunteering at the nonprofit, and now she's a full-time employee. Now, once you've got your foot in the door and you're starting your new job, there's always a period of time, maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, where you've got to get used to things. You need to learn all the administrative processes. You've got to meet the team, you've got to take over some new projects and things that you're working on. Hopefully, there'll be someone there to show you the ropes. To show someone the ropes means to show them how to do a job or an activity. Kate showed me the ropes when I started my new job in customer service. When you're new, it's helpful if someone shows you the ropes so you don't feel lost. Unfortunately, not everyone is so lucky when they start their job. Sometimes you just get thrown in the deep end, which means you're placed into a difficult situation without much preparation or support. You have to figure things out on your own. When I started teaching, I was thrown in the deep end with a class of 50 kids. She was thrown in the deep end when her boss left for vacation, and she had to manage everything herself. Next up is a steep learning curve. This describes when you have to learn something very quickly, often in a stressful situation. If you're starting a job with no prior experience, it can be a really steep learning curve. Or if you don't have anyone showing you the ropes, the first few weeks are going to be difficult. It's going to be quite stressful. It can be a steep learning curve. My first job in sales had a steep learning curve. I had to learn everything fast. Taking on that project without any prior experience was a steep learning curve, but I learned a lot. Let's focus on some idioms now that are useful to describe the different ways of working. Do something by the book. It means that you do something exactly as it should be done. You follow the rules, the laws, or the steps, the procedure that you have been told to follow. So you do everything correctly. It's by the book. We need to do everything by the book to make sure the audit goes smoothly. I always do my reports by the book because accuracy is key. Next up is to cut corners. This means you complete the task in the easiest, the quickest, and maybe the cheapest way possible. It means that maybe you haven't done the job as thoroughly as you should have done it, and therefore the end result is maybe not as good as it could have been. He cut corners on that project and missed a lot of important details. The company can't afford to cut corners on safety regulations. Sometimes the work that you have to do is difficult or it's complex. And sometimes you have a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it in, right? The idiom to have your work cut out for you describes exactly this situation. It means you've got a challenging job ahead. You'll have your work cut out for you by finishing that report by the end of the day. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, so we really have our work cut out for us this week. Next up is make light or short work of something. Sometimes the opposite happens. You think a task will be tough, but you finish it quickly and easily. In that case, you can say you make light work of it or make short work of something. She made short work of the presentation, finishing it in just an hour. He made light work of the meeting agenda and got everything done quickly. There are definitely some awesome idioms to help you communicate in English. One such idiom is to touch base. This means to check in with someone and get an update on their work or how they're doing. Let's touch base next week to see if we're on track with the project. I'll touch base with my manager to get his feedback on the proposal. Sometimes you've got a lot of work to do, and you just need to be quite direct. In this conversation, we need to just talk about the things that are really important. You want to cut to the chase. It means to skip the small talk and get straight to the point. We don't have much time, so let's cut to the chase. What's the budget for this project? Let's cut to the chase. We need to figure out how to solve this issue before the deadline. All right, managing the different relationships that you have at work, maybe with colleagues and clients and different people that you encounter at work. This is really important, and it means sometimes you've got to hold back and not say what you really think. You have to bite your tongue. This means to refrain from saying something you want to say, especially when it's not appropriate. I wanted to say something about her suggestion, but I had to bite my tongue. I didn't agree with the decision, but I bit my tongue because it wasn't the right time. Next up is to rock the boat. This means to do or you say something that upsets people or it causes problems. I was tempted to complain about the new policy, but I didn't want to rock the boat. Sometimes it's better to keep quiet and not rock the boat at work. Next we have to put out fires. This refers to handling urgent problems that prevent you from doing your actual work. I spent the whole day putting out fires after the product launch failed. He's always putting out fires because of his colleagues' mistakes. Have you ever heard anyone say they're in hot water? Well, this means they're in trouble. They could be in trouble with someone. They're probably in a difficult situation because of something that they did or didn't do, and now they're at risk of being criticized or embarrassed or punished. The CEO is in hot water after her comments about the competition. John's in hot water for missing the deadline again. Okay, your work is done. The day is over. It's time to go home. Then you can call it a day. This means it's time to stop working for the day. It's 6 p.m. I think it's time to call it a day. We've done enough for today. Let's call it a day.
So there you have it. You just learned 15 useful business idioms to use at work. The best way to use them is to think about how they apply to your own work life. For homework, choose 5 of these idioms and tell me how they relate to your workplace in the comments below. I'll check them for you to make sure you're using the idioms in the right context. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next lesson. I think you're going to love it.